fire like woo. Yeah, never let in all your dreams. Put it into a dark regime, transform the score machine. I ain't had no pot to piss and now I'm frying competition. Burn my way to top position, scared of heat, fuck out the kitchen. Let him cook. Let me cook. Let him cook. Let me cook. Let him cook. Let me cook. Let him cook. I'm frying competition.
Yeah.
My bad, man. I cannot listen to that song without getting into it.
Every time.
Every fucking time, bro.
Every time.
It's not hard at all.
Now, you know what, bro? Now I understand what they meant by hitting the Holy Ghost.
When you're really ready to go to church with music, let me know. I'm your guy.
I'll happen to remember that.
My next church service is Thursday night, August 23rd.
There's more
At
soul
10 p.m. I got to be at the Ritz. Unfortunately.
There's more soul in me than just Jesus now. Amen.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We got to put our thing up there.
Hey, fellas, how was your weekend, though? On the real.
Short.
Yeah, I that. It was a speediest weekend.
Hey, you know what, man? It was fun only because I got to watch my kids get their hair dyed.
Dude, I saw the pictures. They look good, no doubt.
I did too. That's what's up.
Hey, bro, definitely worth the money. And watching them go, oh my God, we're about to get our hair dyed.
Hey, so it's kind of a power bomb topic, but not. But like, I just got the WWE, right? The game.
Okay.
And, wow, I suck. I'm just trying to learn everything. I'm actually playing the faction, my faction, because in the challenges and the skill competitions, it's kind of like a tutorial without it being a tutorial. So it's kind of like rewarding at the same time.
Be a man, get in that showcase mode.
Well, I got to figure out what buttons do what first. That's the issue.
Look, bro, just go the route of my kids. If you just hit every button, and eventually it'll happen.
Look, just grab the controller and
yeah, you just do this.
Right.
Just be careful. Wait, what do you got? An Xbox?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll hit you up. We'll hit you up with Fred, bro. He's got a controller connect.
I see. Fred is in need of controller connects. Fred got major issues. But Xbox, if you don't buy dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you don't buy the expensive controllers for Xbox, they're going to tear apart. And the first thing that's going to tear apart is this toggle switch. It'll give you that drift. It'll get that stick drift.
Sony's the same way. They all got cheap with their controllers.
Yeah.
I done replaced 3.
You got $100 on a controller and be done with it.
Yeah. See, but no matter what for PS5, my controllers are $100.
Yeah. Yeah. Those ain't cheap. That's why nobody wants to mess with PlayStation, though, because they're expensive and not really worth it.
What? Wow. I've been hearing a lot of shit about Xbox Live being down. I ain't heard nothing about my PlayStation network being down.
What we not gonna do is disrespect the brand that owns Spider-Man.
Fair enough. I can understand.
They own my life allegiance as long as they own Spider-Man. As soon as they stop owning Spider-Man, I'm going PC.
Fair enough. I respect that.
Now, hey, since we're on that topic, really quick, bro, let's talk about the biggest heel turn ever.
I mean, bro,
in the cinematic universe, bro. Iron Man is now Dr. Doom. Absolute fucking leg drop, bro.
First off, when I saw the reports 3 weeks ago and this man said, I want to make a return, how y'all gonna do it? How you gonna do it? That was my question.
Iron Man.
You can't bring back Iron Man. He got murked in Endgame.
Yeah, he's done.
His CPU was fried.
So I think it's a perfect way to bring him back. And man, let me tell you what, What a guy perfect guy for the role. I mean, wow.
He can now be his genuine self.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, we'll be blunt though, bro. He legit took Iron Man to that next level. Name me another actor, bro, that you could have put in that role and it would have elevated it.
Nobody.
You want me to tell you something? The first movie I ever saw, Robert Downey Jr. You know, you look at the movies and you realize you can almost realize based off of the advertisement, even back then, who was the main character and who was, the co-star. Well, Robert Downey Jr. was the co-star. The movie was called Johnny Be Good. It's where he was the best friend of a high school stud quarterback who was being scouted, and he took his buddy around, and his buddy was actually, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was actually the star. But let me tell you what, Robert Downey Jr. made that movie. He made that movie. It was fantastic. That's the kind of actor this guy is, so I can't wait for this movie to come out.
Listen, Tony made Iron Man my third favorite superhero. Nothing surpasses Spider-Man or Deadpool.
I never read a comic in my life, but he's the reason that's got me introduced and in love with Marvel movies and superhero movies. Like that whole genre. I'm not big on like the shows on Netflix and Disney and all that stuff. I mean, I can watch them. I don't like thrive for them though. But those movies, yeah, I want to see them. Let me get the next one. The Marvels movie. If the Marvels or DC are out there, I'm going to watch it.
When we got time to talk superheroes, I got you.
Let's do that one day for sure.
We can, I would say we can sit down and debunk or knock that out. But
hey, that's podcast topic.
Before we start power bombing each other, I know you said you had some pancakes to talk about, so go ahead and get that out there.
Well, amid some reports, this is just my opinion first and foremost, but amid some reports, Tristan Wirfs and the Buccaneers are far apart. I actually do not believe so. I don't have any evidence. I don't have any inside scoops. But just be patient. We're going over an in-depth look on the situation with Tristan Wirfs. And look, if you listen to his go to Buccaneers app, download the Buccaneers app, and go listen to the interview that Tristan Wirfs had today. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. And Ted and Terry. You've got to pay attention to not who's talking, but what he's saying and how he's talking. The fact that he's even out there, don't get, he's not playing, because he didn't show up to minicamp. Bullshit. He's not going to participate. No, he's out there for the team because he's for the team. But do you think a guy where he's in depth, indeed, huge talks for one of the biggest contracts probably in NFL history?
Well, I was going to say, man, like, for real, the dude is on a contract here.
He's not.
I'm not mad at him for not being out there right now. One, he's with the team, so he ain't being a diva. He's sitting out protecting himself from injury, which is fucking smart.
When you can name me 5 right tackles that move to left tackle and dominate immediately, we'll have a conversation. Then outside of that, that cat don't need to practice and warm up when he's in
Listen,
when the sumbitch can power jump out of a fucking pool,
this
motherfucker can go back and sit on his couch, and I wouldn't give a fuck as long as you're there week 1. Cool, because guess what? You gonna block that sumbitch.
Hey, I was about to say, bro, as long as he is there week 1 when we take the field, I do not care if he is not in camp. 100. I do not care if he does not play in the preseason.
At all. First off, me as a head coach, my O-line ain't touching the preseason field at all.
Well, we'll go at a more in-depth look at Tristan Wirfs and the contract talks, because I like I said before pre-show, I actually hope to be expecting to announce the actual contract signing and the specs of the signing. So I really feel like they're going to get this done soon, because to a degree you need him. You can stop him, just like you said, BucDad. I agree with you. He doesn't have to get out there. But let me tell you something. The things we're going to talk about Thursday, and everybody will understand this when we talk about it Thursday on the Plunder. the things being said and talked about the Buccaneers this year, if you're not paying in-depth information, insider information, go to the YouTube and go to the Bucs channel and continue to tune into the Plunder, because I'm telling you what, I'm going to keep you informed. This team is different. Watch out, people. Now, moving on. Todd Bowles, he was interviewed about today and the practices and how everything went. And there was a few questions that were asked to him that I liked the answers to, you know, the certain questions. So I'm just going to go over those. The other day, it was the first day of pads, or today was the first day of pads, and he thought it went pretty good. You know, that was for it to be the first day of pads. It went pretty well. That's just a standard response to that. Tristan's here in good faith, and he is healthy. So to anybody that has those concerns about Tristan's worst health, and that's why he's not practicing, it has nothing to do with his health. He is not getting out there getting ACL, which somebody tore their ACL today, and either today or yesterday in Dallas. It was, I think, one of their edge rushers, the Sam Williams. I want to mistake. Yeah. He tore his ACL. So
I was going to say the Micah Parsons.
This isn't a game, people. So, Kayvon Merriweather, people. Everybody who was excited about this cat coming out of college, as I was, Kayvon Merriweather is back. He's 100%, and coach said he's flying around the field. So he's just got to get acclimated, learn some techniques, and get those things shifted, because he really didn't spend a lot of time on the squad last year because of injury. They were asked about the safeties, and they said all the safeties are here and healthy, and over half of them can play nickel. So you can guarantee the free safety deep position is going to be held by Antoine Winfield. He is going to be that dude. He's not coming in to play nickel. He might play nickel in some small sub packages, but not.
I was about to say, bro, to be blunt, I didn't even know that was a debate. I didn't know people were having that fucking conversation.
They were, but over the last few years, but it got solidified last year with Christian Izzy. And
I'm talking about like this year,
Well, no, it was a conversation up until the end of the season, obviously. But once they where Winfield was, and then you obviously had Christian Izzy actually do really well last year in the nickel package. But he was questioned about Jordan Whitehead. Jordan Whitehead, he said one of the things that has improved with him, it was quick and easy to notice, was his footwork. He said his footwork has improved quite a bit, and he's very excited to have Jordan back, because they feel he's familiar with a lot of people here. He's familiar with the defensive system. He went out and gained more knowledge living and working in a defensive system that wasn't the same system as his, that he had grew up in the NFL as, you know, for 5 years. So the last 2 years he's been in. So his knowledge has expanded without a question. So that's going to benefit our defense and even help, like we discussed in the last week's Plunder. They also said that he feels that Jordan's in the prime right now of his career. So that's a positive thing to look at. Keenan Isaac, cornerback, he was questioned about him and what he noticed about him. He says, obviously, I got watch a lot of tape, which he hasn't done, but he can't see everybody. What he can see about Keenan Isaac is he's very long and heady and a good change of direction, which is very good for your cornerbacks. He said that there was a lot of flags thrown because they were being ticky-tacky out there, because they wanted the team to be very well disciplined and used to being structured and disciplined by the time the season gets there. They was asked about position groups and tough battles, and he said every position group has a battle. Even quarterback. Baker Mayfield's the starter, but let me tell you something. Number 2's being battled over. So that's something that he was questioned. Some of the things he was questioned about. We'll have a more in-depth look on the Buccaneers moving forward this Thursday on the Plunder. As of week 1 of practice, the same thing we was talking about in the preseason, man. That wide receiver, that rookie wide receiver, there's no question. It's a solidified gap between him and Trey Palmer. Ain't even a question. He's your number 3 receiver on the Bucs roster. Jalen McMillan.
What?
Jalen McMillan.
I was about to say, bro, Jalen McMillan better be the 3rd fucking receiver over Trey Palmer.
Jalen McMillan is a clear cut above Trey Palmer. When actually questioned about Trey Palmer, it was a very mild response that Bowles gave. He said, you know, he was talking about his route run has improved a little bit. He's become a lot shiftier. He didn't even mention the hands, which, as far as anybody knows, Trey Palmer, that was his number one problem, his hands. So, you know, Jalen McMillan and Kevon Merriweather, those are two really young studs who are being very vocal around their practice. So keep an eye out for those names moving forward this season.
I'm excited for that. I'm actually just looking at the stuff on Raw right now. Seeing what they got updated.
There's I'm actually going to be reviewing. Oh, yeah, cool. Thank you. I'm actually going to be reviewing the new season of what is it? In the
current?
Yeah, in the current. Sorry, I had a brain clog. In the current, as a segment.
I was gonna say you might want to. You almost might want to write that down so it's a memory.
I actually got a list now.
I was about to say we're old, bro. Memory can go quick.
Well, I'm just trying to. Yeah, as far as my show, I've got a whole list of stuff that I've got to sit down and put together. Whole list of stuff.
Hell yeah.
I literally, dude, I spent like first 4 hours of my day. I've been the last 4 days. I've been on iHeartRadio listening to the sports station down in Tampa, listening to every show, catching the live interviews and looking back, and then seeing the YouTube. I got YouTube subscribed on the Bucs, so I'm listening to all the Bucs insiders. I've got my TikTok. I mean my what is it? It's not Twitter anymore. It's X. I've got my X notification immediately on, bro. I'm like diving in it. I'm trying to push that side. So everybody out there, like, follow, and share the plunder, please. Bucs lovers, even if you don't love Bucs, tell me your team and why you hate the Bucs, and let's have a conversation about why my team's gonna whoop you. Just saying.
I'm just gonna say this: as long as we come out with the foot on the motherfucking gas, all I care about at this point.
I'll guarantee in the first 2 games of the season we score a touchdown on the first drive of the game.
That would be all well and good.
That's how.
But I want to see that. But here's my thing, and we've seen it last year, and you know what, bro? We've seen it with Brady too. That slow starting on offense. We gotta kill that shit, bro. That is what's gonna fuck us.
Bro, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, homie. You need a glass. Come get you some. We'll have a conversation one day after work. But like, I know you got a lot of stuff other going on in your personal life, and you got a lot. You stay busy. Then your job also keeps you busy a lot during your week. But the in-depth stuff that I've been paying attention to, like, dude, I'm buying this Kool-Aid, bro, and I'm trying to make a gallon after I drink the first cup. I ain't waiting until the gallon's empty. Like, I know it's that good. I feel it. I'm confident, and like, just trust me, it's going to be there. This team is there's a different feel about them. There's a different way about them. Go read my article. As a matter of fact, plugging it. Go read my article, Derek Stevens. It's about a seismic shift in the culture of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if you
I'll go check that out, man. It's on the Plunders page. I have it on my page as well, and it will be posted to Pancakes and Powerbombs shortly after the show if it isn't already.
It is.
Okay. So you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. That's good. Let's go, baby.
You ready for Powerbombs?
I'm down to Powerbomb a bitch through a flaming table.
Because it's been a real good motherfucking weekend for wrestling. I don't know if anybody's really paid attention.
Partially.
I mean, AEW is making promises that they ain't gonna be able to keep.
Oh. And
WWE, bro, we're go home week before SummerSlam. This is like WrestleMania Junior. About to happen.
Heard that.
The and Junior nobody wants.
Yo, bro, and tonight, starting off with Raw, Come on, man. What better way? And you get to fit, like, you know what? Ben's got a very, very valid point on this one. We'll start off with what will Liv be wearing or not wearing tonight?
I, who is a perv, will hope she's wearing nothing. I will admit that I'm a perv. I hope this short, midget, fine thing of a woman is wearing nothing. Double bagged and cheeked up.
Hear me out. Do you guys remember when Logan Paul won the U.S. title? He had that shower photo with it.
Yeah.
Can we get that recreated with Liv?
I want to ask you a question.
Sir.
He called her a midget. Does that make her a gimmick wrestler?
No.
I mean,
when I say midget, she's shorter than me.
She's shorter than
that's fine because Hornswoggle has still had a job for 20+ years.
That is true. That is true.
Bro, Vern Troyer, or how you say his name, Mini-Me, had a career. So you know what? I'm all for it.
Look, little people are awesome, bro.
But no, the weird person in me is hope she's wearing nothing with how double cheeked up she showed us she was last week. I mean, for God's sake, I saw the TikTok of her twerking, and that was fucking everything I didn't know I needed in life.
Like, see the edgier. I mean, all the way down to you. We've talked about the content in the ring, how physical, how much more brutal, how like the content of the verbiage and what these guys are pushing out, and now we're seeing the content as far as the sexuality of the business. But look, let me tell you something. My wife sits beside me and watches wrestling, and every time Drew McIntyre doesn't shave his face, she goes to drool, and I got to get the bib out.
You know,
his
thighs.
It
be that way sometimes. It be that way sometimes, though.
Like we all have that fascination, but like you can see the edgier content coming out little by little, even before they hit Netflix. So it's bruh, if you ain't fuck what they talking about politically, if you ain't got your subscription to Netflix, go ahead and get used to that shit, bro. Go ahead and get used to it.
Listen.
Only certain people still have their Netflix account.
I will say this. So we made the comment a few weeks ago how we keep trying to compare this era to the Attitude Era.
Right.
I agree with what Buck said last time, where this is basically the ruthless aggression era that done correctly.
Done right.
And hear me out. And if that's the case, and if that's the goddamn case, I need another Edge Lita sex in the middle of the ring on Netflix.
You know what? Would that
push that line?
We're not putting Dom can't be in this show.
Oh no, not Dom.
The only way this happens is Rhea and Liv.
Trying to make all the fantasies come true.
Can anybody?
I'm just being supportive of my local LGBTQ community.
Like Val
very
Venus,
supportive.
Val Venus was pretty edgy with his content that they put out there when he had some shit.
Have you seen Val Venus on social media these days?
Yeah.
Man, that motherfucker's gone so far up, bro. I thought Antonio Brown was bad.
he ain't got
this
nothing.
Man, bro. This man looks. It's like
if you've ever
it's like Donald.
Ever listen to Ryback? Imagine him high on crack and you high on meth trying to understand him.
No, see, Ryback, I will not. I won't give the time of day to listen to it because he's a whine ass, bro. That's all he is.
I don't like
because here's my thing: if you were worth a fuck as a wrestler, all these other promotions would have called you by now.
Not you sitting on TikTok bitching like
you would be sitting on TikTok and Fox News and anybody else that would listen to you for 5 seconds talk your shit because you give them a news story and a lot of these news outlets are cool with whatever dumb shit sticks.
You know what's bad is I really loved his gimmick.
I thought, bro, Ryback was the worst big man they ever had.
I know.
Bro, it was like, to me, when they got Ryback, I thought they ended up with a Batista off Wish.
On Soul. Actually, I'm gonna go one step further. I was like, is this A-Train repackaged again?
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought this was Albert repackaged again.
Wow. Well,
and the sad part is, I like the A-Train gimmick.
Look, when I met Triple H back when I was 18, working, I was in a halfway house in Trouble, and I was working as a restaurant in Pensacola, at a restaurant in Pensacola serving, and I actually served Triple H, and back then he was Prince Albert. It was right after his Triple H's Peck return, where he turned into a monster. He went from Hunter Hearst Helmsley to Triple H.
Okay.
I got you.
He was massive.
That was when he quit with the accent.
Yeah, yep. He quit with that British accent, and he became Triple H. And then he started playing Motorhead.
Real quick, friends, and our friends watching, don't forget wrestling's on Sci-Fi tonight.
Oh, shit.
Next week, we're on Sci-Fi, okay? Don't forget. Don't go to USA, because then you got to look at the fuck-ass Phil hockey game. Go to Sci-Fi.
Oh, shit, bro. I forgot all about that.
Anybody that doesn't have cable, download Twitch, create an account. G1 Beastie with a Y. And he streams the Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. If you subscribe to his channel just one time.
Damn. I ain't gonna lie, man. I completely forgot all about Sci-Fi because I gotta do that. I don't have that channel on my Spectrum.
I was going to make sure Raw was recording just in case I missed some shit, and I was like, oh shit, it's on Sci-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I saw the commercial.
One Beastie on Twitch.
No.
He shows that you can hear the audio from the commentary and everything. You obviously hear him, and he speaks a little bit throughout but it's simple to watch. It's very live, and all you got to do is follow him. If you subscribe, he's actually got a Discord where he streams the PLEs all live, so you don't have to pay for that either. All you got to do is subscribe once, and that's just a one-time payment. What, $3, $5? I think he's linked in with WWE because they typically rip their shit right off of anything that's out there. So him streaming it like that and have been doing it for a long time, yeah, he's got to be down with WWE.
Either that or there's a way around it.
Yeah, the WWE is really good at ripping their live content off of the internet. Really good. They probably hire convicts and criminals for that shit. So what's going down? What kind of info you got on the Wyatts tonight?
Well, I don't see anything Wyatt 6 related yet, but I do see something on the Max card that maybe potentially, kind of, sort of, might lead to an interaction.
Mm-hmm.
You got Otis and Tozawa teaming to go against the Creed brothers.
Oh, that sounds like a slaughter.
So that already right there tells me that you're probably going to end up with Chad Gable out there, which is going to probably end up in a Wyatt 6 pop-up or a call-out for Sunday. You may not.
I mean, is the match official yet? The match isn't official yet. Okay, so if it's going, sorry, go ahead, Trevor.
I'm sorry. Triple H and TKO this was 19 minutes ago.
Okay.
Jesse Ventura.
Beautiful.
For tonight's show.
That's
was 19 minutes ago.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Great. Hey, way to break some news to the people.
Hell yeah.
Look, I shut up that anytime, homie. Just
now.
Do the sound.
Now, on top of that, it's fight night. You got Sheamus taking on Bronson Reed. It's a lot of meat slapping meat. I'm just gonna call that right.
Well, I'm gonna just yell beef.
I mean, damn. Hey, but first off, before we go any further, any of y'all catch the Paul Heyman documentary last night?
I started watching some of it, got interrupted, power went out for a little bit, and I didn't go back and finish it, but I'm gonna watch it first thing in the morning.
Listen,
it's worth a while. I mean, it's not something we haven't already heard between the ECW documentary,
right,
and even the Roman Reigns documentary. But it's worth taking a listen.
Good.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch it last night. My HBO Max, I forgot to pay it, so it wasn't trying to let me watch. So I had to get on the Spectrum app and get the HBO. So that was more of my. I had to watch my Dragons, people. Okay, I had to watch my Dragons.
I ain't watched the last.
It's okay. I heard it.
I'm not gonna lie. This is how much my infatuation with Dragons in. I had one of my students draw that for me.
So was last night the last episode, or is it next week?
Next week's the last episode, which football season's gonna be back, and that was gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I had seen Fred say something about that.
So they only did what, 8 episodes this season?
Each season gets about 8 episodes because if you was to do them any longer, you're touching the book, and the book is like 74 chapters. And it depends on how deep they're really trying to go with the storyline, if I'm being honest, but that's a whole different topic.
Well, they also got 100 years to go with, so it's not like they don't have room.
Yeah.
Well, right now they're creating a prequel to this prequel, so that's where they're at right now.
Are you kidding me?
So another match I'm seeing on the card, we got Karrion Kross taking on Xavier Woods.
Seen that coming for a while.
I thought we had already seen it, to be honest with you.
I thought they had a tag match. Wasn't it a tag match he was involved in?
They did a couple weeks ago. I mean, honestly, bro, I thought we had seen Karrion Kross and Xavier Woods fight. Right. That's just me, though.
Maybe when it all started, right before it all started with him.
Mm-hmm.
You might be right.
So maybe, you know what, man? Maybe we can finally put this shit to rest. Because I feel like the Final Testament either needs a new opponent or they need to disband. So if there's one thing I am not buying into, and I hate to say it, it's this Final Testament shit, bro. Like, I was all for hoping that this whole repackage and a faction would make Karrion Kross a little bit better. You're throwing AOP in there, and then you throw Paul Ellering in there.
So I just had a thought, and maybe I'm looking too far or too weird with the shit. Are we supposed to be setting up them versus the Wyatt Six, or them joining the Wyatt Six? That because like, what's the point of having two dark groups on the same?
I mean, that's kind of where I'm going at. Is that if they move forward, if you're not going to pull the trigger on this Alpha Academy and Wyatt Six bullshit, then pull the trigger on Final Testament and the Wyatt Six, because it's at that point you got to do something with Final Testament. Yeah. They are way too damn stale for what they are.
And what's sad is you brought AOP back just to run him around behind this guy who's not doing shit and can't develop himself. And they need to be separated from him, in my opinion. I think they're an extremely good talent. They got Paul Ellering with them. He's probably one of the, if you want to talk about managers, he's one of the most original old school managers.
And that's where I'm going at with it. You know, you brought all this in, and this is what I'm getting.
Yeah, I agree.
It is very mid-tier. It's mid-grade, bro. Like, this is in the age of Kush. This is Reggie.
No doubt.
at tops.
He's got some great moves. He's talented in the ring. He can do something with the mic if you give him a little practice, but like the storylines just ain't off.
You talking about Xavier Woods?
No.
Or Cross?
Cross.
I mean, he's good. From
Honestly,
what I've seen of him in NXT, bro, he's phenomenal.
Woods is a jobber if he's not by himself. He can be something with somebody else, but I don't think Woods is anything but a jobber if he's by himself. New Day made him.
No. It was just
a sex tape made him. Sex tape made him.
Touche. And Saraya.
Yeah, I was about to. I wasn't gonna go that route, but
I'm sorry.
I can't really argue with that.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
The wife is frantically aiming to find sci-fi for us.
So, I will say this much. They flashed a commercial. I don't know how far you were down on the list. We're getting a great kickoff to Raw.
What's that?
The kickoff is our special guest referee match for SummerSlam. They're kicking off Raw.
Okay, cool. Because I didn't know they were kicking off, but I was gonna bring that up. That they are going to be laying down these stipulations. Let me go to it. It is Seth Rollins is going to deliver the referee instructions for the match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Now, before we get into it, I had seen a couple reports, and I'm all for it, talking Drew McIntyre really has carried this feud. It is kind of crazy you had to throw CM Punk in it, or to throw Seth Rollins into this all of a sudden. Because either you don't have a lot of faith in what's going to happen with CM Punk and you do believe this could maybe be a one-time match. Maybe he is fragile, Phil. Or maybe this sets up for a fatal four-way down the line with the championship, or even a triple threat between all three. Now, what are you guys expecting out of tonight with this referee address? And what are you expecting on Saturday?
Go ahead, Trevor.
I expect somebody's gonna hit Seth Rollins. Even though they're not allowed to touch each other, somebody's gonna hit Seth Rollins.
You kind of stole it.
I think this is going to be one of the funniest segments of the year, as well as one of the most serious segments of the year, with just the dynamic of CM Punk. Like, bitch, you got my bracelet with my family on it, nigga. Like, he can't say them words exactly, but that's the Chicago in him.
I was about to say, can you imagine CM Punk saying that shit? that would first off be fucking hilarious.
He would be
one, and two, I think it would just be hands down one of the most spectacular things that happen on national television. And I give him the okay to do it. Him and Eminem, they should be the ones to do it.
Well, me, I've got a lot of love invested into this match because, like, I'm not so much in the closet Drew McIntyre fan. I like his persona. I've got the same heritage as him. It's a very small, trace of it, but I also like that culture. That northwestern European, culture up there with them and the Viking lore, so to speak, up there in that region. But it's CM Punk is just another one of those guys that I grew up liking. And this story, and let's go to Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, I'm a stud fan for him from day one. I'm a day one Seth Rollins fan. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So, like, it's something that has intrigued me the way it's developed, because I can buy the statement that Drew's carried that rivalry, and CM Punk is healthy. He's been injured a lot over the last 3 or 4 years when he's come back from wrestling and then left us or left WWE, left WWE and went to AEW, then come back to WWE. He's been injured quite a bunch in that stint. Now, could he be fragile, Phil? Yeah, but at the same time, like, you don't need Seth Rollins for this, and it's weird how it's developed, but I like where it's going. And what I see happening tonight, Trevor kind of stole it. These fools can't hit each other, or there's no match. So Seth Rollins is about to get dinged up like a motherfucker tonight. They might be cohorts and beat his ass together. Like, dead serious. It might turn out some serious shit like that. They be like teaming up, like tagging each other in and shit. That's the only way they can touch each other, is to tag each other in while they kick at Seth Rollins' ass. But on the serious, I believe it's going to be, I believe those three can really put on this program and this segment right here to even draw more people in. That's how good it's going to be. We're way past wanting to see this fight, but tonight's going to be another addition to us wanting to see it, because they're going to make it good.
Another thing I saw that they advertised on television was Finn Balor versus Gunther.
Yep, I was just about to get to that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
My ring general is coming to the ring for the first time in who knows how fucking long. I am ready to see the fucking ring general, okay?
Well, let me say
this, bro, it has been a minute.
That's going to be a really good match, because if you've been paying attention to Finn Balor, they've been building his character up. I don't think he's dropped a match in a while.
Well, I mean, think about it.
This could be an interference match at the same time where there's no decision, to maybe lead to a future battle between those two, because I'd like to see a program with those two guys.
I'd agree.
I think, hear me out. Now, this is a weird way to say that. Kind of referencing what I did before, and that was a good point, Derek, was Gunther hasn't really been in the ring since King of the Ring, kind of like Nia Jax. They kind of just had them like step to the side for them weeks. I think this is a good tune-up match, even though, holy fuck for a tune-up match.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at it as, is it's a tune-up match for Gunther. For Finn, you're trying to soften up the ring general and get him down for your boy Damien, which I'm going to say Finn loses just to add to that little fuego. And down the line, we are going to get a Finn Balor Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight title.
There's no doubt. They've kept the camera on Finn Balor looking all nasty as fucking at Damian Priest so many times. And Damian Priest is so over right now. He's literally almost a face right now.
Hear me out. Things I would love to see tonight. I would love to see Dirty Dom get a chance to cut another promo. Whatever the fuck Liv Morgan is or isn't wearing, because we need to see the bubblegum baddie princess double cheeked up always from now on.
Inquiring my no.
Third, I'm really interested to see how they decide to give, so we don't got to keep calling them the lesbians, because that's a little fucked up. But if they can get them a name or something, because like I got wrestling fans from everywhere, and they've all done sent me the same meme. We know what meme, but so we need something other than to call them the lesbians.
But is it wrong? I mean, you kind of just threw them together, and you ain't really told us shit. They've cut promos. You've had the opportunity to kind of put a name out there. Y'all been hanging out for a minute.
Yeah, that's it. They kind of dropped the ball on that because I mean, if you look at it, I'm not sold on Sonya Deville. I'm definitely not sold on the other two, but yeah, they're
I've
gonna.
never been sold on Sonya.
No, Sonya is overrated.
I mean, I just
Good. I
even when
think
you had her and Liv together, bro, I just didn't.
maybe she'd
I
make a good.
can't. I just don't take her serious.
Well, wrestling WWE needs a good. Think about it. Think about it, guys. All right, take a second. As you guys, as Trevor would say, hear me out on this. Hear me out. We haven't had a female manager in a long time in the WWE. A legit female manager. And if you go back,
And she's it.
first off, Sensational Sherry. Does anybody remember Sensational Sherry?
Yeah.
With Harlem Booker T, like, and Jacqueline after she quit wrestling.
So hear me out. If you're gonna swing it that way, you really want that on the microphone? Like, no offense, but offense.
That's her.
They all, let's be real, all three of them cannot really speak on the microphone, and you gonna choose that one? At least I would have chose Zoe Stark.
No, see,
I
I
would
think
say Zoe's got more of an upside.
The wrestler. She's the only one I've got hope for in the group.
So why would and so there's my there's my thing. Why would you have her as a manager?
Who, Zoe? I wouldn't.
No, I'm talking about Sonya.
That's
why would you? The
because
only thing I can think of what they're doing, maybe you're about to get a trios title within the women.
I would hope they don't let the guys do that. That's just too. I think that's too bougie.
You get maybe you get a trios title for the women.
Because now you got to keep you get that going, and now you got to talk about seriously having, not only having factions, but building factions to stay around and stay together. So you've got enough people out there. So I've never been triple belt. Not a fan of it.
I'm for it because I've seen the couple matches I've seen in AEW and Ring of Honor, or AEW and Ring of Honor that do the trios. They're entertaining. Like me and Corey were there when Young Bucks and Kenny Omega won the trios titles, and yes, I get it. That's a lot, but you got a lot of females hanging out in threes.
I agree.
You know, nothing wrong with it, but there's a lot of them that are hanging out in trios. So why not go for it?
Let's let these great people go watch this opening segment. Shout out to Pookie for watching.
All right, my man. Well, I will see you Thursday for the plunder, and we'll see y'all Friday night for pancakes and power bombs.
Hey, fellas, love you guys.
Love you.
Yes, sir. See you later.